This is a CNN's Philippine special presentation on the life and legacy of the late, great Kobe Bryant. Good morning. My name is Andrei Felix.
And I'm Bea Fabregas. Just hours ago, thousands of people gathered at the Staples Center in Los Angeles to honor Kobe and his 13-year-old daughter, Gigi. The two of them were killed, along with 7 other people, in a helicopter crash in California last January 26th.
The so-called house that Kobe Bryant built was packed to the rafters as family, friends, and fans paid tribute to the Black Mamba and the Mambasita. CNN correspondent Connor Powell has the highlights.
I'm here because I love Kobe, and this was one of his favorite songs.
More than 20,000 fans, friends, and family gathered to say goodbye to one of the greatest basketball players of all time, Kobe Bryant, and his 13-year-old daughter, Gianna.
I don't think any of us could have imagined this.
Many of Bryant's former Los Angeles Laker teammates were in the audience, with the team's general manager giving a touching tribute to Mamba.
Kobe the best friend, Kobe the dad, and Kobe the husband.
Bryant's wife of 18 years, Vanessa, gave an emotional tribute to Gigi and Kobe, the MVP of girl dads.
Gigi would have most likely become the best player in the WNBA. She would have made a huge difference. I couldn't see him as a celebrity, nor just an incredible basketball player. He was my sweet husband and the beautiful father of our children. He was mine.
In the game of basketball, in life, as a parent, Kobe left nothing in the tank. He left it all on the floor.
In Los Angeles, I'm Connor Powell.
Bea, wow, just watching the highlights just really gives me chills.
Yeah, I actually woke up early to catch
watch that?
and I could not miss that, obviously honoring the life of Kobe Bryant and his daughter, Gigi.
A lot of emotions, Bea, and you can feel the presence of the Black Mamba, Mambasita, and all over social media as well, as many people paid tribute online as expected while the public memorial was ongoing. Utah Jazz big man Rudy Gobert says that while Kobe's death still doesn't seem real, he is amazed to see the positive impact he had on so many people. Meanwhile, sophomore sensation Trae Young of the Atlanta Hawks simply wrote, "Kobe was my Jordan."
This Twitter user is sending love to Kobe's wife, Vanessa Bryant. He says Kobe even passed on Mamba mentality to his wife. What a tough woman she was. She was everyone's mom today. Thank you, Mamba family. And for Twitter user Vibe, she says, today is all about Kobe, Gianna, and the 7 other lives that were lost that day.
And joining us this morning is sports desk analyst, one and only PBA legend, point laureate, Filipino basketball legend, Coach Ronnie Magsanoc, always here. Coach, thank you for being here on the show. Me and Bea were just talking about it. Si Bea nagising pa early morning to watch that memorial. It was a lot of emotions. We want to ask you, Coach, you got to see the memorial, right?
Yes, of course.
Kasi kinikwento ni Vanessa as a husband, as a father, Shaq as a teammate, Michael Jordan, sabi niya, as a younger brother. How do you remember Kobe Bryant, Coach?
I had the chance to see him up close in Manila in his very first trip to the Philippines. I believe for his first ever shoe deal. So, katulad ng kinuwento ko noon, he was still not the biggest superstar that he became, no? As an NBA global icon. Doon pinakain siya ng paan ng manok.
Ito yun, Coach, no? Nung bata pa, no?
Right.
Afro pa siya.
This was that part of that year. So, sa akin, we saw him as someone was going to be special, we believe, no? Kasi grabe talaga yung, hindi hype kung yung expectations, no? Kasi, batang-bata, ang payat. Pero talagang pag sinabi mong 6'6", 6'6" talaga. But he had that certain charm in him that you knew for a fact that he was going to be somebody who's going to be huge eventually. And alam mo, if you're around a lot of great people or great players, mararamdaman mo yun. When they walk into a room, you feel something different. And he had that certain vibe in him in a place which was quite large because that was in a hotel, a breakfast meet up with him. And we're trying to get a picture of Kobe with us. Siyempre, hindi pwede. So every time he walked, we were also trying to walk beside him or behind him just to get a glimpse. But he made us happy when he danced the tinikling.
Yeah.
And
I think that was going around on
yes,
social.
so hinawakan niya yung balot, hinawakan niya yung paa ng manok. Kinain na lang namin pagkatapos niya sumayaw ng tinikling.
Pinostehan niya pa pala dito si Presidente.
And I mean, that's just such a beautiful memory.
Yeah.
And, I think that's what a lot of people were doing, when this happened. They're trying to rack through their brains, what was, if you were able to interact with the great Kobe
Yes.
Bryant, you want to remember that. But, I mean, I think he had this ability, whether you loved him or hated him. Parang
Dalawa lang yun.
nakaka-spark talaga siya ng emotion.
true.
No? And
Yeah.
as a, of course, Coach Ronnie, why do you think as a player he was that way? He kind of elicited that emotion.
Well, I think that was something that he built from within, something that was innate. His persistence, his willpower, I think catapulted him into the legend that he became and the legend that he was after his passing. So the myth has become bigger and it has cemented the legacy. Kasi ganun siya eh. He built his basketball skill sets because he worked in it tremendously. Hours and hours of repetition and putting in the work when people were resting. When other players were sleeping, he was already working. When other fathers were still drinking their coffee, he was taking his kids to school. So, meron siyang sariling daan na hindi nag-waver sa kanya. I think everything he did was when he was young. No? He started out young, he got married young, he took Brandy to the prom when he was very young.
Yeah.
And even in passing, he was very young. So parang dire-diretso, he had that
Tunnel vision.
mindset, right?
Yeah.
That he wanted to do things his own way.
Yeah.
But of course, he had Michael Jordan probably as his icon that he wanted to follow and emulate. But also, I think we also have to mention that lost through all this is that his father, Jelly Bean Bryant, was a huge influence given that they stayed overseas in Italy when he was still young. So, na-formulate na rin sa kanya, di ba? Mayaman sila, may kaya sila, but he knew for a fact that for him to be able to succeed, he had to do things on a different level and had to put the daily work, daily grind, day in, day out. Dahil hindi naman sapat yun eh. Di ba?
Yeah.
Eventually, it will boil down to, do you have the mind to back up whatever skill sets that you have as a ball player?
Well, Coach, Kobe Bryant definitely was an inspiration to many athletes here in the Philippines. And when we return, we hear from some of the country's biggest basketball stars as they remember the Black Mamba. Stay tuned to CNN Philippines. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the program. You are still watching a CNN Philippines special presentation on the life and legacy of Kobe Bryant. Some of the top basketball players here in the country had the honor of meeting and even playing with Kobe Bryant during his visits here in the Philippines. And like many of us, these athletes were shocked by the sudden death of the NBA icon last month. Our Pauline Verzosa tells us how some Filipino cagers remember Kobe both on and off the basketball court.
Waking up to Kobe Bryant dead from a tragic helicopter accident with his daughter Gianna was the last thing fans would expect to hear. But as the news was confirmed, Filipino basketball stars mourned with great disbelief.
When I woke up, akala ko nagjo-joke lang yung mga...
Akala mo fake news?
Akala ko fake news lang talaga eh. That Kobe Bryant died in a helicopter crash. So, sino man maniniwala in the morning na yun yung first news na makikita mo. And then when I opened the news, it's real. I was like, wow, what a day. So I checked my social media and everything.
Yeah.
Everything is about Kobe and it's really sad.
The whole world knew Kobe Bryant, but to Filipinos, he was more than just a player. The five-time NBA champion was an inspiration to many fans, where even local idols looked up to him. Kobe was also known as the Black Mamba for his killer instinct, and athletes strive to have that Mamba mentality. But the NBA legend was gone too soon.
It's just one of those things where, you think that people are invincible, or you're always gonna think that tomorrow is gonna come, and I mean, to everybody, tomorrow's not promised, you know, and it's just one of those things where reality hits. And I just saw a picture that Casey Montero put up and Denise Laurel put up about Kobe and his daughter. Sorry.
Bryant shared many memories with Filipinos visiting the country several times. In 2011, Gilas Pilipinas even played against Bryant in the NBA All-Star team. He last visited Manila in 2016, the same year he retired from the NBA. Looking back, players say Kobe was always a kind soul.
I remember the last time we talked because he remembered me because I saw him every time he'd come to Manila. He's like, oh man, he's like, you got kids now? And I said, yeah, this is my oldest son. He goes, well, I got my daughters too, man. He goes, it's a beautiful thing. And, we just kind of shared a quick laugh.
Counting down to 0 and shooting an imaginary ball. This is what players say they will do to remember Kobe Bryant, a champion, a father, and a legend.
Nakita ko kung paano natutukan at mahalin, suportahan ang kanyang anak. Kagaya ng pagsuporta ko rin sa mga anak ko. Thank you very much at kailanman hanggang sa pagtanda ko, hindi ko makakalimutan ng Mamba mentality at Kobe Bryant sa history ng basketball.
The loss of Kobe Bryant is bound to leave a scar among the hearts of Filipinos, a nation that is passionate for basketball. But as Kobe once said, heroes come and go, but legends are forever. Pauline Verzosa, CNN Philippines.
I mean, we just saw PBA legends emotional, understandably so, and another Filipino player who was deeply affected by Kobe's death was the so-called Red Mamba of the NCAA. Pauline Versosa also spoke to PBA player Robert Bolick. He shares how Kobe inspired him.
Kobe kasi, ever since, talagang isa na yan talaga. Hindi lang ako. Buong mundo talagang sa ibang klase yung work ethic na lahat gusto maging kagaya niya. Kung ano yung mentality niya, pag sad o may injury kaming iniinda, lalo na ako pag masama yung araw, pangit yung laro, manood ka lang ng Kobe Bryant motivational video sa YouTube, masaya ka na kasi gusto mo gusto ko na maging Kobe Bryant bukas. Parang ganon kaagad yung mindset eh.
And we do know that Kobe had a lot of injuries throughout his career. Pero dahil ba dito mas na-motivate ka na mag-bounce back, yung Mamba mentality na yon, from your injury, bounce back ka?
Siyempre in the future. Pero ngayon, ilang araw sa rehab talagang walang gana, parang ayaw ko gumalaw, parang nawalan ako ng kapamilya eh. Parang gano'n yung nararamdaman ko. Parang nawala yung tatay ko, nanay. Parang gano'n yung nararamdaman. Parang ayaw ko gumalaw. Pero syempre, as a Kobe fan, alam naman natin, gusto niyang kahit anong mangyari, lumabang ka lang, pakita mo sa kanila yun nga, sinasabi ng Mamba mentality. Pero
And we still have here with us sports desk analyst, Filipino basketball legend, Coach Ronnie Magsanoc. Coach Bea, we hear from Robert Bolick, we hear from L.A. Tenorio, from Jimmy Alapag, Joe DeVance. These are, kumbaga ba ibang generation ng PBA players who were inspired by Kobe Bryant. Talk about Kobe as an inspiration to Filipino basketball players, kahit anuman ang panahon at edad, Coach.
Tama yung sinabi mo yung, I think the operative word is yung generation. Kasi yung generation nila Jimmy at LA, sabay yun eh. Yung kay Robert, mas current na yun, di ba? Pero yung sa amin, parang kailan lang yun. That was before the millennium. So, ibang generation naman yung sa amin. So, at the time, there was no social media. Pero the fact that he was humble enough to go to Manila and stay with us and eat with us, sa akin talaga, kasi tingin ko sa kanya, of course, napakataas talaga. Pero nakita ko kasi yung simpleng tao eh, and that stuck to me up to now. I think the inspiration is that, the effect was that you can be a big name, you can be a big star, but still be a simple person at heart.
Nagkaroon ba ng parang kumaga, Coach? Kasi Bea, di ba, we've also hosted when Curry came here. Yeah. A lot of NBA players come to the Philippines. Yes. Yung Kobe, masasabi mo ba, Coach, na may sense of approachability? Tama ba?
Meron eh, meron.
Yung parang...
Meron. Kaya nga ilang beses
madali lapitan?
Eh. Madali lapitan. Actually, hindi ka lang makalapit kasi naka-cordon eh. Diba? Pero kung makikita mo, tawagin ka niya eh. Tawagin ka niya, saka may eye contact. Kasi importante sa amin yan, as a fan. No, of course, during our time, meron din namang mga nagpapa-autograph. Pero more than just signing or acknowledging, yung eye contact. So, naramdaman namin dahil nakabarong kami, nakabarong siya. Pero syempre gusto mo sana makausap, di naman namin makausap. Pero nakakalapit kami kahit papano. And I think that gave me a lasting impact. That if you are in a situation wherein people are trying to get close to you or trying to talk to you, then you should give your time.
Yeah.
You should show them that not only are you appreciative of what you're doing, na kumbaga, you're there, na hindi ka malayo sa kanila. Tao rin siya at ang kaibahan nga lang, sobrang galing mag-basketball.
Superstar level. And,
Sobra.
And you know, you were talking about that, his approach, just being able to talk to all these people. And I think that's evident sa mga kwento nga na people that were able to interact
Itong
with
beses
him.
bumalik
It's a unique story, no? May kwentong Kobe, kumbaga. Like, oh, you know, my Kobe story is this. And my
personal,
Kobe. Yeah, and it's just, it speaks so much of the man that really just goes out of his way. I mean, he's tired, he's exhausted, he has an insane schedule. But just making that extra effort, you know, in his mind to really reach out to the person who's talking to him, meet them where they are.
Right.
Ibang klase talaga
I think
siya.
the passion is not just about the game, but also understanding that people are very important. People who love to play the game, who will not be superstars or big game players such as him, but people who simply love the game and know him because of the game. I think yun yung undertone doon di ba? Na alam naman niyang iba siya, alam naman niyang beyond reach siya. Pero he's making himself accessible because he understands where he came from. No? Na nangarap din, nagsikap din. At itong mga bata o yung mga PBA players, yung mga professional players na gusto siya makilala, hanggang doon, di ba? But will never be in his level. Pero sa kanya, pare-pareho lang. Yun ang naramdaman ko.
It's really something else to remember Kobe Bryant. There's just so much to say. And
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant wasn't just an NBA icon. He was also a champion for women's basketball. Later, we revisit Kobe's final interview with CNN, where he talked about the possibility of women playing in the NBA. This is CNN Philippines. Keep it here. You're watching CNN Philippines. This is a special presentation on the life and legacy of Kobe Bryant. Many of us know Kobe as one of the most accomplished players in NBA history, a Laker legend, a 5-time NBA champion, and an 18-time All-Star. But Kobe was also an advocate for women's basketball, and his daughter Gigi was seen as his heir apparent on the hard court. In his final interview with CNN, Kobe talked about the possibility of women playing in the NBA.
You were one of the early investors into Body Armor. It's grown so much over the years. How cool is it now to be a partner with Major League Soccer?
You know, it's crazy, man, because like when we first started the company, it was such a small company. We had this vision of doing these big things and servicing the athletes and educating them on nutrition and hydration. And to find ourselves here now in partnership with MLS, and MLS is, I mean, they've taken off too. I mean, this is coming up on 25 years now. And the game has done nothing but grow. And so to have this relationship together is, we look forward to doing some big things.
I know you're a big Barcelona fan. How do you think they're going to fare? And where do you think Messi ranks in terms of best athletes in the world right now?
Well, I think he's one of the best athletes of all time. His tenacity, the intelligence with which he plays, as well as the skill. Just puts him head and shoulders above the rest. Now Cristiano is right there with him. But I think Barcelona right now, going through their transition period, changing manager, there's a lot of questions to be answered, but I think they'll figure it out.
NBA fans love to debate, which team from which era was better. Shaq recently weighed in saying that he absolutely thinks you and him would have beaten this current Lakers team with LeBron and Anthony Davis. What's your take on that hypothetical matchup?
I don't weigh in on hypotheticals. Because as a competitor, there's nothing you can do about them. You can't debate yourself to winning something, right? That was the beauty about sports, is you compete, you either win or you lose. In the debate culture, there's never a clear winner,
right.
But it's fun to hear.
You recently said your daughter Gigi got you back into watching a lot of NBA. You've taken her to a bunch of games this year, sitting courtside with her. As you watch games with her and coach her through her basketball journey, I wanted to get your take on if you think a woman could ever play in the NBA one day?
Play in the NBA. I think there are a couple players that can play in the NBA right now, honestly. I mean, there's a lot of players that have a lot of skill that can do it. Diana Taurasi, Maya Moore, Ella Delle Donne. I mean, there's a lot of great players out there, so they could most certainly keep up with them.
Sports desk analyst, Filipino basketball legend, Coach Ronnie Magsanoc is still with us in the studio. Coach, earlier, in the memorial, Diana Taurasi spoke.
Yes.
There were NCAA players that were really deeply moved, and I think there were just stories here and there of Kobe making the effort to just learn everything he possibly could for his 13-year-old daughter, Gigi. And, the coaches were saying, they're 13, let them just, simplify
Be 13.
it. Yeah, be 13. But, I mean, it's passing on that Mamba mentality, to this generation of female ballers. And, I mean, we see it, the WNBA players, not just NBA players, were moved. WNBA players were just devastated. So what can you say about how Kobe Bryant has really been a light to, women's basketball?
I think the longer his passing is felt, the more people are able to tell their stories about the kind of person that Kobe is. Actually, yung last text message ron sa agent niya was to help out.
Ropelenka, yan, sa baseball.
Young lady get an apprenticeship sa baseball. Diba? So, kung yung sa baseball, tinutulungan niya, what more sa basketball? I think, babalikan ko lang ito, no? There was that interview with Kobe asking him, wala siyang anak na lalaki, sinong papalit sa kanya. I think,
Si Jimmy Kimmel,
And I think that stuck into the mind of young Gigi, no? Na, sabi nga niya, I got you. Diba? So, I think, once again, yung wala siyang gagawin na wala siyang plano eh. Yun naiintindihan ko eh. So, he moves behind the scenes, but he helps people. And we talk about helping people, it's helping women's basketball. Siguro dream din niya, hindi lang makalaro para si Gia sa WNBA. Probably sa Maverick, no? Thinking out of the box. Kasi may female coaches na sa NBA eh. Who knows, eventually. May not happen in my lifetime, but we may have future women basketball players in the long run. Who knows, di ba? Magkaroon ng merge. Pag-merge, bakit hindi? With the way things are happening right now, all over the world, anything can happen. And probably that's also at the back of his mind. Hindi lang to open the door for young Gia and help out these NCAA players, get a big career sa WNBA, but who knows what can happen for very good national players ng mga...
Sabi nga ni Vanessa Bryant dun sa kanina sa memorial, she said na Kobe wished also that Natalia, who's a volleyball player, di ba sana basketball. And then makikita natin when we look at pictures and look at video clips of Gigi and Kobe, when they watch games, di ba? The way that yung admiration, and you coach, you have girls, you have daughters as well. My question is to you, how important for you as a basketball player, yung gusto mo din yung daughter mo syempre, iba pag lalaki. Hindi, kasi di ba iba pag lalaki, alam mong, magbabasketball ka. Kasi basketball player ako eh. Pero yung ikaw, being a girl dad yourself, coach, do you see some sort of semblance with Kobe, how he really wanted, he saw Gigi wanted to follow his footsteps?
Did you try to, leave hints here and there? Parang iniwan mo yung basketball at night, gano'n. What was it like? What was your girl
I just wanted them to
experience?
get into sports. So, my eldest played basketball. Basketball was not kind. My two other daughters were into tennis. So sa akin kasi, I just wanted to inculcate discipline in their minds at yung competitive nature because that was something that molded me into a tough-minded competitor. So I wanted to pass on that fact to that. Pero yung, I wanted them to be successful athletes. But in the end, it boiled down to just wanting them to be happy. Pero tinitignan ko yung mga ibang PBA players, ang galing nila eh, di ba? Lavenas, di ba? Paras, di ba? Tengs. So I don't know how they were able to do it, pero sa akin kasi importante sa akin yung, yes, I will push them, but mas importante sa akin, mas masaya sila.
What can you say about yung Kobe-Gigi father-daughter relationship?
Iba yun dahil nakuha nung anak niya yung...
Exactly.
Yung
mindset,
yung
pati nga yung fade
Iba yun.
It's crazy.
Iba yun.
Just how similar they moved and at that age.
Saka yung confidence.
Yeah.
Yung confidence. Saka when she speaks, parang si Kobe nakikita mo nagsasalita eh, di ba? And I think that is the kind of guidance that was delivered by Kobe for his daughter.
And for her to say, yung kay Jimmy Kimmel nga, di ba, oy, I got this.
I got this.
Yung swag ni Kobe parang nasa
You know,
kanya.
I just have to say, being a 13-year-old girl, it's a
Hirap
very
yun.
awkward stage in your life. You really don't know. You're figuring out what you're good at. I promise you. You know, when you look back at your 13-year-old years, it's just like, what was I thinking? But that was what was so unique about Gigi. She knew what she wanted. She was determined, and you know, she knew what school she wanted to go to.
Just
at
like her
13.
father.
Exactly.
Just like her father.
And you know, it's heartbreaking to hear, you know, Vanessa Bryant say it, but it sort of gives us comfort in a way that she said. I don't know her exact words, but you know they could not be without each other.
Yes.
And there's not enough ways to, you know, we can't really put it into words, this tragedy, but to think of them, you know, bonding over something they loved so much, is really, you know, something else.
That's true.
Okay, Coach Bea, well, Kobe Bryant and his wife Vanessa were married for almost 19 years before the basketball legend's untimely death. And in a few moments, we hear from Vanessa Bryant as she remembers Kobe and their daughter Gigi. Stay tuned to CNN Philippines as we continue to celebrate the life and legacy of the Black Mamba, Kobe Bryant. This is a CNN Philippines special presentation on the life and legacy of the late, great Kobe Bryant. I'm Andrei Felix.
And I'm Bea Fabregas. An emotional tribute to Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gigi at the Staples Center in Los Angeles earlier today. Thousands gathered in the house that Kobe Bryant built for a public memorial for the Black Mamba and Mambasita.
It was a star-studded affair. Kobe's fellow basketball icons, Michael Jordan and his former teammate Shaquille O'Neal, were among those who spoke at the memorial.
Kobe's wife, Vanessa, also remembered her husband and their daughter in her first public appearance since their death.
Gigi would have most likely become the best player in the WNBA. She would have made a huge difference. She would have made a huge difference for women's basketball. Gigi was motivated to change the way everyone viewed women in sports. She wrote papers in school defending women and wrote about how the unequal pay difference for the NBA and WNBA leagues wasn't fair. And I truly feel she made positive changes for the WNBA players now, since they knew Gigi's goal was to eventually play in the WNBA. Kobe loved me more than I could ever express or put into words. He was the early bird, and I was the night owl. I was fire, and he was ice, and vice versa at times. We balanced each other out. He would do anything for me. I have no idea how I deserved a man that loved and wanted me more than Kobe.
The memorial for Kobe and Gigi Bryant is the top trending topic on Twitter worldwide, as expected, Bea. Now let's take a look at what some celebrities and netizens said about the service. Laker legend Irvin Magic Johnson says he was blown away at how Vanessa carried herself during the memorial. Magic adds Vanessa provided comfort for those grieving Kobe and Gigi by sharing personal stories and family memories. Grammy-winning singer Alicia Keys was among the performers at Staples Center. On Twitter, Alicia recalled how the song Moonlight Sonata became such a beautiful part of Kobe and Vanessa's love story. She adds, the love between them lights up the world.
Three-time baseball MVP Alex Rodriguez took to Instagram to share his tribute to Kobe Bryant. He says, I was so very honored to be at the memorial and witness all the love firsthand. Vanessa Bryant showed the ultimate amount of strength with her beautiful speech. It was truly remarkable and powerful. As for this Twitter user, he says, it's very sad to watch Vanessa Bryant saying her farewell words to Kobe and Gigi. We are going to miss you, Kobe. Thank you, Mamba. Kobe Bryant played 20 years in the NBA, all of them with the Los Angeles Lakers. Here's a look back at the illustrious career of the 5-time NBA champion and 18-time All-Star.
Kobe Bryant was a teenager when he walked onto the NBA stage, and there was no doubt in his mind that he was ready.
I'm going to go in there and I'm going to work hard every day.
I'm young, but I'm not going to back down from anyone.
He had the drive, the ability to thrill, all wrapped in a megawatt smile.
Welcome to the Kobe Show.
And fans began to see that they were in for something special.
Here comes Bryant. Oh, missed the race.
Wow, did you see the move by the kid? That's Kobe.
Did you see the finish by the kid?
He would pair with Shaquille O'Neal to form a powerful 1-2 punch, elevating his game when it counted most.
Kobe, jump shot for the lead, yes!
The Phenom had grown into a 3-time NBA champ.
That's three. Back to back to back.
Kobe was anything but a finished product. In the years that followed, he reached a new level of mental and physical dominance.
And an 81-point game.
The Mamba was born.
I couldn't even dream of this when I was a kid. There's just no way possible. Just a blessing from above.
And his scoring explosions captivated the league.
4 straight games, 50 or more points.
All the while, Kobe realized there was still room to grow.
Kobe Bryant, the 2007-2008 most valuable player.
And that true greatness means lifting those around you.
No easy points. Make them earn everything.
He embraced his role as a leader, and the result was a return to glory for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Basketball immortality for the 09 Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers repeat back-to-back titles.
Kobe's ability to inspire wasn't limited to his body of work in the NBA.
They call me the OG, you know what I mean? So it's fun for me to be around these guys and kind of mentor them a little bit.
He was a driving force behind the 2008 Olympic team that restored USA basketball to the top of the podium and won gold again in 2012.
Team USA has won back-to-back gold medals.
Beloved by fans around the world, Kobe Bryant had transcended the game. He embodied excellence, achievement, and aspiration for millions of fans everywhere. And when it came time to write the final chapter of his NBA career, Kobe saved one of his most unforgettable performances for last.
Kobe Bryant, on the final night of his NBA career, scores 60 points. 6-0.
Man, to spend 20 years here, you can't write something better than this.
With his playing days behind him, he understood that all along, his single-minded pursuit of excellence was about much more than himself.
The most important thing is how your career moves and touches those around you and how it carries forward to the next generation.
Whew, Mamba forever. Beautiful video there. We still have here with us sports desk analyst, Filipino basketball legend, point laureate, Coach Ronnie Magsanoc. Coach, we were talking about kanina when we started the show, your first encounter with Kobe Bryant. That was back in 1996. And then the last time Kobe went here was in 2016.
Yes.
What can you say yung difference ng isang Kobe Bryant from the first time you met him back in 1996? He said, young, skinny, afro
pa.
hair. Oh, yeah. And then from that 2016 Kobe.
I think the impact that he was able to impart in 1996 was good for about 2,000 to 3,000 people. In 2016, I think it spanned the globe. So the mere fact that this African-American NBA superstar goes to Asia for the 7th time speaks volumes kung ano yung tingin niya, hindi lang sa kanyang endorsement, kundi yung reach, no? It's different when you go and travel and make yourself available for people who normally don't see you. Diba? Kasi hindi naman lahat makakapunta sa NBA, mapapanood siya, hindi naman lahat may kaya, pero siya pupunta. And I think you do it once, masaya ang mga Pilipino. You do it twice, special na sa mga Pinoy. You do it 3 times, ba iba to. 7 beses bumalik eh. Imaginein mo, my good friend Papa Bear Benji named his son Kobe. Ilan ang mga batang pinangalan ng Kobe when he was still playing up to the time he retired? Pero ngayon, the kind of legacy that he will leave for the Filipinos. Ilan na naman yung papangalan ng Kobe?
And Gigi, actually.
And Gigi.
I feel like there will be a lot of Gigi's
Gianna,
well.
di ba?
Yes, Gianna, for
Kasi dati nabago yan, naging Roger dahil si Roger Federer, paborito mo. Di ba? May Rafa, hindi, totoo naman,
Yes,
di ba?
it's true.
Ronaldo, because of the football player, di ba? Pero yung Kobe, babalik na naman yan. LeBron, di ba? Ang dami ngayon ng mga bata ngayon. Sigurado yung ating mga kababayan, marami na namang Kobe at Gianna na ipapangalanan as a tribute to the kind of respect and admiration to celebrate also the lives of Kobe and Gianna, among others who perished in that critical crash.
And I think, you know, you talk about celebrating, and I mean, it's again, it's hard to kind of put this in perspective, but there is so much footage of Kobe Bryant.
Sobra.
It's, you know, he really started before social media, but he was still, you know, the massive superstar he was during the height. And I think that's what really, you know, can continue this legacy. All of his motivational speeches online, ang dami nun.
Documented.
Yes,
Documented.
really. I mean, he had literally an answer for everything.
Yes.
And how spectacular is that? A life that you've lived. And, you know, Michael Jordan said it. He left nothing on the court. And that, I think, parang pareho in life, di ba? Parang lahat talaga ini-encourage niya.
Yes.
You know, there are stories coming out, as we mentioned earlier. It's gonna keep coming out. Because, syempre, hindi naman nag-share lahat up until. But there was somebody who was nervous about his tryouts. He messaged him, took a, you know, a video. You know, you can do it. It's incredible. This, you know, what he did with his time, how he chose to spend his time.
Sabi nga ni Allen Iverson, I remember when he was also interviewed, he said, I think they were coming from an all-star game or something. So, where are you going? Sabi ni Allen Iverson, I'm going to the club. How about you? I'm going to the gym. I'm gonna work out on my shots.
There's a difference in the way we're choosing to spend our time.
Ano talaga siya eh. Yun ang gusto niyang puntahan at yun lang ang gagawin niya, paulit-ulit. I think even in his retirement, he was very organized, no? Did things at 5 a.m., did things at 6 a.m., at 7 a.m. And that's why ang dami pa niyang nagawa. In fact, baka nung last 3 years after his retirement, mas marami siyang nagawa. Hindi lang para ng
Oscar eh.
He has an Oscar.
Diba? And he was
storybooks.
he had so much up ahead in terms of things that he wanted to do. Of course, for his family, for his daughters, and for his business, for his empire. But more than that, yung pagiging pilantropo eh. Di ba? Yung pagtulong, yung foundation, yung pagpunta. Sa akin, kasi sa akin,
Presence.
ang paniniwala ko, yung mga mayayaman, ang pinakamahirap ibigay, oras.
Okay, Coach, let's take another break. Kobe Bryant played at the annual NBA All-Star Game 18 times during his illustrious 20-year career. And after the break, we look back at some of the highlights of the Black Mamba at the Mid-Season Classic. You're watching a CNN Philippines special presentation on the life and legacy of Kobe Bryant. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You are watching a CNN Philippines special presentation on the life and legacy of Kobe Bryant. Kobe was one of the best to ever play in the NBA All-Star Game. He was picked for the Mid-Season Classic 18 times. That's the second most in NBA history. He also won the All-Star Game MVP award a record-tying 4 times. Now here's a look at some of the Black Mamba's All-Star Game highlights.
Go, heat up.
All right.
Heat up, get loose.
My first All-Star game, you was in elementary school.
No doubt.
How you doing, man?
Kobe Bryant, 20 years in the NBA, 18 All-Stars. Last time here, he's actually going to jump center.
Hold on now. Hold on. I got it.
Did you see him split 2 guys? I think he took the ball like went his way.
Went his legs backwards.
He lobs it. Bryant, and it's done. A spectacular hammer.
fake the ball. Where else you going?
Use up your feet.
Yeah, but where else you going to go?
In the game, I go for you.
I spun all the way around.
I go for these ribs right here.
And rejected by Bryant. Here's Bryant, and he passes by Michael Jordan as the all-time scorer in All-Star play.
For the fourth time in his career, he's the All-Star Game MVP. Kobe Bryant. That's nice to go.
The All-Star game is over. Now it's time to get back down to business. See if we can't get that championship. It's a fun weekend, though.
We still have with us sports desk analyst, Filipino basketball legend, Coach Ronnie Magsanoc. I mean, those highlights making you laugh, making you smile, making you remember. And Coach, you know, earlier in the memorial, sabi nga ni Michael Jordan that he was kind of like that annoying little brother that kept asking questions. And I love that he said that, diba? Kasi medyo makulit nga naman, nagte-text at 2 in the morning. Exactly. But that, he did not take that for granted, that Michael Jordan did that for him. He did that for many NBA players. And I mean, can you just talk about what he has done for, you know, these 21-year-olds that are playing, that literally were a year old probably, you know, when Kobe started?
I think, let me put it this way. Before, pagkalaban mo, kalaban mo. I think Michael Jordan and Hakeem Olajuwon opened the doors for a relationship. And I think it's all about paying it forward for Kobe and Roger Federer, Tiger Woods, because these are exemplary icons in the respective fields. No? When you talk about Kobe learning from Michael Jordan, who opened his heart to have mentored Kobe, alam na ni Kobe yun. Kung ito nga ginawa para sa kanya, gagawin ko.
That's Michael Jordan, by the way. That is Michael Jordan.
The GOAT, yeah.
Dati sa amin, in our era, nakita lang namin si Michael Jordan na ngunguya-nguya ng bubble gum.
Tuwang-tuwan.
Ginagaya mo na eh. Di ba? Ito,
nilalabas yung dila.
Mahirap gayahin yun. Kasi sa taas eh, di ba? Pero ang point ko is, ginawa ito ni Michael Jordan for him. I think he understood that it's all about him representing the next generation, not just for basketball, but also for young people. No? And I think that goes deeper. So kung ano man yung ginawa ni Michael, he even made it better. Di ba? Ganun ang ginawa niya. That is Kobe, growing everything that has been given to him. Learning from people who are the best in their respective fields. And I think that has circled around the globe, no, in terms of this kakaiba eh. Di ba? Pati sila Djokovic, nag-uusap-usap na sila eh. Pero ito, talking to 21-year-olds na hindi pa basketball players, pero giving them time. Again, I would repeat that and reiterate that time is the hardest to give at this stage in their lives of these NBA superstars or these sports superstars for that matter.
Sabi mo nga, Coach, paying it forward, and you said also, Bea, that, you know, he learned from Michael Jordan. And then
Sino pa bang
ito ngayon, like the reigning MVP of the NBA, Giannis, also learned some tricks from Kobe Bryant.
Oh, naman.
Jason Tatum, Kawhi Leonard, the list goes, Kyrie Irving. So, Coach, yung NBA, di ba, that was a beautiful tribute. No All-Star Weekend, they changed the format for Kobe. Your thoughts on that? And also naming yung MVP award kay Kobe.
Alam mo, siguro hidden through all this. Kasi si Kobe, yung all-star sa kanya, para sa iba, fun.
Yeah.
Sa kanya, hindi fun.
Hindi. Yeah. He's competing.
Oo, kaya nga 5-time winner of the MVP award in the 18 times that he played, no? Ang reaction ko, again, even in his passing, he changed the all-star game. And I think the format will stay dahil iba na yung iba na yung excitement eh.
Oo, tama.
Diba? And probably next year, they'll put in something different, once again, to honor him. So, the legacy continues. The myth has become even bigger, but the legend will continue to stay in the hearts. No? Not just in the game, in the hearts and minds of this generation, the future generation, and then the generations to come.
I definitely agree. A legacy indeed. Kobe Bryant brought Mamba mentality to the NBA playoffs multiple times in his career. When we return, we revisit some of his postseason highlights at the house that he built. This is CNN Philippines. Keep it here.
you're still watching CNN Philippines, this is a special presentation on the life and legacy of Kobe Bryant. Kobe led the Los Angeles Lakers to multiple trips to the NBA playoffs. He won 5 championships with the team, a three-peat from the year 2000 to 2002, and then back-to-back titles in 2009 and 2010. Now here's a look at some of the highlights of Black Mamba in the postseason.
A beautiful day in Los Angeles as the NBA playoffs continue tonight here at a sold-out Staples Center.
Portland has 3 timeouts left. The Lakers have 2. Bryant to shot.
Kobe Bryant worked into the lane and Shaq hammered it in with the right hand. Timeout Portland. Beautiful reverse by Kobe. Here comes Fisher. Launch it.
Kobe down the middle, in the air, shows up a
He made it. 2.5 seconds left. And the Lakers have taken a 2-0 lead in the best of 7 Western semifinal.
That's slammed down emphatically by Kobe Bryant on the Bugsy Wells shot.
Bryant looks inside, finds Gasol. Gasol, count it. And a foul. Trouble with 4, approaching 7 to play. Kobe Bryant. Not in your wildest imagination.
Look at this, gets the contact, has no idea where the basket is, but here's the whistle. This is amazing. Look at Kobe Bryant. What a spectacular play. That might be the most sensational basket of the year.
Beautiful move by Kobe Bryant. Stolen by Bryant and pass. Puts up the 3. Bang! He's a drop down. Kobe! Oh! Up high! Down hard! Hold on to your hats, folks. Here he comes. Oh, no, he didn't.
5-5, got it. Hamilton, the shot to 3. Yes! Kobe Bryant drains the 3. 2.1 left on the clock. We're deadlocked at 89. Unbelievable.
Danny A watching Kobe. Scooping, driving, and putting it in. How in the world did he do that?
Kobe to the baseline. Here's his turnaround to tie the game.
Bryant overcoming. Oh, yes! Another 3.
Spectacular play by the Lakers. That pass is coming 1 step over half court.
Bryant the drive.
Bryant behind the back. Bryant, yes.
Timeout, Phoenix. Oh, it counts and the foul. A sensational shot on the reverse.
That's what takes the life out of your team. Those plays demoralize you.
Kobe around Thomas. Boy, the degree of difficulty on that shot is through the roof. Against Ariza, Kobe Bryant. Oh! With a left-handed sledgehammer. Long for the Nuggets, puts them over the limit. Here is Bryant. Yes! Bryant with the step and the facial. Oh, my gosh. Throw it down, Kobe. Throw it down.
Love to get it into Nash's hands, and they do. Ball knocked away, stolen by Parker.
There it is.
Here comes George to Kobe Bryant. Bryant inside. It's good. It's good. Tie game.
Bedlam at the Staples Center after this turnover.
Remember, you do not have to force it. Right there, he caught it at great deflection by Parker. Parker knocked that ball loose, and this is a miraculous shot.
Shot clock at 2. He's got to put it up. Tries to bank it. Does so. And a foul.
Bryant says, not on my watch. Mama, there goes that man. Bryant finishes at the rim.
Shot clock winding down. Kobe Bryant on the drive. Gets to the basket. Oh, what a move from Kobe Bryant as the shot clock expires.
The shot rejected by Bryant. A 1-point game.
Walton could tip it. Bryant with the save.
Oh, you gotta get a shot here.
Final seconds. Bryant for the win. Bang! Kobe with a buzzer beater, and the Lakers win the game. 99-98. Kobe Bryant has hit a shot at the buzzer. The Lakers repeat back-to-back titles. The LA Lakers, the 2010 NBA champions.
Wow, the Black Mamba clutch. Killer instinct. Talagang nandun yung Mamba mentality.
Bihira.
And of course, we still have with us sports desk analyst, Filipino basketball legend, Coach Ronnie. I'm a Spurs fan, so
Galit siya kay Kobe.
Ang ganda-ganda nung pinakita.
Oo nga eh.
I'm getting to the point here.
I'll drink to that.
It's a very, very good point, I promise you. There have been many heartbreaks because of Kobe Bryant, but really, as a Spurs fan, we know it's more than just being a fan of a certain team. You look up to these people, and they really motivate you to, conquer your own life's obstacles. Like for me, for Timmy, Manu, Tony Parker, as a Laker, Kobe Bryant winning those 5 championships for those fans and staying with one team for 20 years. I mean, it's amazing, diba?
Unheard of.
And how is this everything that he's done for the Lakers really going to continue to live on? I mean, just with how people just go about their days, how these Kobe Bryant fans go about their days.
I think everybody had to see this celebration memorial because this is something that the family had to go through to be able to move on. Yun ang nakita ko eh. You have to hear the stories of people who were requested by Vanessa Bryant to speak on their family's behalf so that other people will understand the kind of person that Kobe had, not just as the Black Mamba.
Yeah.
And I think this also cements the winning tradition for the Lakers. No? Not only has it increased the valuation of the franchise in terms of business, pero I think it also will open the door for future NBA players to keep that playing for a single franchise.
Yeah, that's
is a possibility.
Which we don't see a lot anymore.
Sa laki kasi ng
20
mga
years,
contracts.
but one team.
And maybe Giannis would have that in mind given that his contract is going
Unless
to
he
be
goes
up
to LA.
Uy, grabe
I'm just saying.
Wait lang, ha?
Iba yung Spurs nga si Bea. Diba? I think this will create a snowball effect, a domino effect. And the Lakers will once again benefit from what happened, what he was able to contribute, and how people would react. Once again, prolonging the legacy, strengthening the myth, and continuing to enhance the legend of course, the late Kobe Bryant.
Well, that's right, Coach. As LeBron James did say, we will try to continue what you as a legacy for the purple.
Kasi passing on the torch, di ba?
Yeah. Coach, thank you again for being here. We just had Sports Desk analyst, one and only point laureate, PBA Hall of Famer, Coach Ronnie Magsanoc. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks,
Thank
Bea.
you so much, Coach. And that's all we have for this special presentation on the life and legacy of basketball legend Kobe Bryant. Thanks for watching. I'm Bea Fabregas.
More sports stories will come your way tonight. You can catch Sports Desk at 10 p.m. I'm Andrei Felix, and I'll see you tomorrow for Sports Desk at 10:30 a.m. right after Newsroom Ngayon. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.